What is going on, people of the internet? Ryan Baggett here, episode 11, season 2 of the ChatBot Podcast. And my friends, today is the day you've been waiting for. We have the legend. I told him I wouldn't hype him up too much. We have the legendary BOTSHEETS builder, the master himself, Mr. Michael Brant. Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, my brother?
That was awesome.
Man, I was gonna just keep going with it, dude, but like you told me, Ryan, you gotta simmer down. And ladies and gentlemen, he was very expensive to pay for an hour of his time. Sorry to the community, he's mine for at least a little bit. Man, Michael, thank you so much for being here, dude.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me, Ryan. Really appreciate it.
I've asked him for a while now, and this guy's been very busy. He's going to update you guys on some of the things that have kept him so busy. But why don't you go ahead and tell the folks a little bit about yourself, man?
Sure thing. Sure. So Michael Brant, co-founder of a tool called BOTSHEETS. BOTSHEETS connects chatbot builders like ManyChat to Google Sheets. And so our main thing is we're a content management system for your bot. So a good example would be you're an e-commerce store and you have a bunch of e-commerce products, or you're a restaurant and you have menu items. You can put all of that into a Google Sheet and it's easily accessible from your chatbot now. So it's probably easier to show you. And so I have like demos ready to go to check this out. But and we're also more than that, but yeah, that is essentially what BOTSHEETS is for. It's a content management system inside of Google Sheets for your chatbot. And so, yeah, a little bit about me. I'm from right outside of Philadelphia. I do software development. I'm an ex-software engineer at Lockheed Martin, and been doing BOTSHEETS for a couple of years now with Josh Barkin. He has a tool called Janus, and so we work together on BOTSHEETS. Yeah,
dude, that's so cool. And folks, like for the non-nerdy out there, and I know there are some of you out of the millions watching this awesome episode, there are many of you that said, what the heck is he talking about? What is a bot sheet, and what is a content management system? What's a CMS? Ryan, you're going to tell us that? Where's your show notes? Why can't you be like Kelly, Ryan? That's what I get all the time, right? Right. This, guys, is the unlock. A year ago, to this month, I was neck deep in ManyChat world, and I thought I was getting pretty smart. And then I found this nifty little new to me tool called BOTSHEETS, and that's when I found like the real gangsters, as I like to describe them, because like those dudes were using formulas and data banks and spreadsheets to populate all this information to provide their end user, the customer. And little old me I was just making a bunch of ManyChat boxes all over the place. And little old Ryan, like, understanding only what I do, I had to get a lot of help. And luckily, this guy here, Michael, never failed me. Not a single time, y'all.
Oh, thanks, man.
I had some very complex issues myself. And almost every single time, this dude had, like, oh, here's a solution, Ryan. And he didn't make me feel dumb at all, like a lot of people in the tech world tend to do. Some people will make you feel like, oh, you don't know that, you're dumb. This guy is the philosophy, no question is a bad question. Like, you live and breathe that, man. And I want to thank you personally for all the help you've provided me over the past maybe 12 months now, man. And you've got some really cool stuff. And if you'd like, let's go ahead and show the people what they want to see, man.
Definitely. I'm excited actually to show you, because I don't know how recently you've checked it out, but we've made things easier. So like I want to show you that. Yeah. So now I need to figure out how to share my screen.
We do this live, folks. We don't have time to be practicing all this stuff. So 1 second here, and now we should see you. Cool. There you are, man. I got you everywhere. You're all plugged in now. Let's see.
Yeah, you can see my
this away. This part. They know who you are at this point. Cool.
It's kind of funny, like from a developer's perspective, when you do demos, there's two rules, right? And rule number one is you never touch the program the day of the demo. And then rule number two is try to not do it live. Like try to just film it if you can. And so, I mean, I guess this is semi-live, but I was literally just updating this morning. So I'm breaking both rules. This is a whole new thing. What I'm going to show you, like this new way of doing web views, literally just updated like this morning on ManyChat on the App Store. So this is all new stuff.
That's
Let me
awesome.
just get into it. This is the power of BotSheets. We have products in a Google Sheet, and so here's a gallery of products that we have, and these are all loaded into this Google Sheet here. So like t-shirts, backpacks, just random e-commerce products. We can kind of scroll through, and what we can do is we can add to cart, and pops open what we call a web view, and very quickly pick the size, the color.
Look at this, guys. So cool. Look at this, and it's beautiful too, man. This is really, really beautiful, and it seems like it's like freaking fast.
Yeah, we've totally redone this to be as fast as possible, make as little requests as possible, pull everything from memory. These types of questions in a chat interface. Actually, for anyone listening right now that's not watching, what we're showing is a web view of different options to choose from. So it's a drop down of picking the size, it's a drop down of picking the color, and then it's 2 buttons for picking the quantity, plus and minus. And so if you were to do those kind of options in a chat interface, it would be like, what size do you want? And then they type in the size, but they don't really know what the size options are, right? So then it's like, what color do you want? I want purple. We don't have purple, right? So it's much easier to pull open an interface like this, as long as it's real fast and it's obvious to the user what's going on. It's just a much better frictionless experience.
And what's so cool about this too is, like, although there should, like, in my opinion, from just seeing that little bit, there should be no questions on the user end, but because we're in a conversational environment, right? Like if they have a question and they just hit X, I'm sure that in most cases the chatbot can understand what is being asked, you know. But again, there should be no question. That's a beautifully done web view, my friend.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Now I'm going to show you what, like, the crazy thing about this is that it's all native to ManyChat now. So we have these actions in ManyChat now to actually create the web views directly. And so a lot of these things are drop downs, like picking the currency that you want.
Boom, guys.
Picking like what's the label that you want to put on the button? What flow do you want to send them after they click submit? A lot of these things.
I want to just briefly butt in there like a jerk, but for those of you watching that don't know what the program he's using is, because this is the first time I think we've actually looked at this interface on my little show. This is ManyChat, and it is a awesome builder for chatbot builders, or for, in my opinion, more tech-minded business owners. This is a program where, similarly to Tap the Table, you can automate conversations. And what BotSheets does is it enhances the ability of this platform to make it, in essence, far more powerful and easier to use on both the consumer side and the client side. I think that is probably the best way I could sum this up, because this will be a bit of an unfamiliar screen here, but I also understand the importance of this update, because, guys, how like back in the day in the Wild West of bots, like a whole year ago, it was not as easy as what he is showing you. This, my friends, is gonna like be as easy as 1, 2, 3, right, Mike?
Yeah, I apologize. I don't know totally where your audience is coming from, so I don't
No,
want to dive too deep.
Yeah, totally.
I keep it high level.
And I'm sure that it's okay, like, for them to join the group if they have questions. Like, you guys are like the best at support. You answer things so fast. Like, I don't know, this dude does not sleep, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a question, he just wakes up automatically and just gets it answered for you, and then goes back.
Oh God, no! Don't say that. No. Post it in the
Guaranteed.
Community first. Yeah, I'm not waking up.
Just
post it in
kidding,
the
man.
community first, though. Yeah.
Right. Your community's smart. Go ahead. Sorry.
They're good. It's a really good community.
It really is.
You know what? I'll keep it high level then. Basically, what we're trying to do is make the ordering process faster. Make things from a bot builder's perspective easier, to the point where it's just like a form like this. Like, I want this color and I want it to
Mm-hmm.
say this and I want to pull from the Google Sheet. Like here's where you're pulling from in the Google Sheet. You have like columns for
And
like your different t-shirt
this is so
sizes.
huge, dude. This is so huge. And let's explain, like, so you have so much going on in spreadsheets, but the audience that I do deal with on the business owner side and the more enterprise side, they live in spreadsheets, right? So
Got you.
what, guys? What he's I'm gonna put the camera back on us for a second here, man. I think if I can do this easily, at least. Let's see if I can
Can we
do
stop
it.
sharing?
Oh yeah, well, I think you don't have to do that. I think maybe I can do this, and then I can maybe. Can I also add myself? Yes. Look at this. We're almost there. Come on, Ryan. Yes, man. Guys, what he's showing you is truly incredible, and this is what was the unlock for me. So for those of you joining in first, thank you for joining us. If you have questions, I'll do my best to throw them on the screen for you. Can't guarantee I'll be able to do that. Multitasking is not my favorite, but this guy took the tool, in this case, MiniChat, used to create the automated responses, the replies back and forth in Facebook Messenger. Without his tool, it is not what I would call a smart bot. It is a very reactive bot that you must, in essence, as the bot builder, assess and account for every potential scenario. Meaning, if you're going to provide buttons in the slightest way for your customers to do, which you can't do a web view unless you have a special tool, it simplifies the process in a way where I think, I don't recall how long it used to take me to put together a whole deal from start to finish. But without the tool that Michael invented here, it was impossible. So I didn't care about the time. Without his tool, it was impossible. He made it possible. And now what he's showing you guys is it's prettier, if you don't mind me saying, very, very pretty. It's very, very fast. Like, I have to say, that web view is likely faster than mine on TTT. Jealous. And it's prettier too. And now it's powerful, and it's powered by the spreadsheet data that you guys probably already have. So one of the coolest things is and not to take too much of his shine, but you're able to take your information you already have, if you have it, input it a specific way, and then output it to your users who are messaging your business on Facebook. And this is the easiest it's ever been done, is what he's showing you for the real deal layman's term breakdown here. All right, back to you. Sorry, you can start sharing your screen again.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. I appreciate just setting some context around this.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what BotSheets is. Like we get data from your Google Sheet and we can show it dynamically. One of the really cool things that Ryan, you were hinting at is like making the bots smarter, right? And like making it not so linear, more like you want to make it so that you don't want to get to the point where the user asks a question and it kind of defaults to a fallback like, sorry, I don't know the answer to that.
Right.
Or like, sorry, I can't help you with that. So one of the kind of, let me actually just clear my car here. One of the more powerful features of BotSheets, which is like, it's less known, is we have this ability to like search the Google Sheet. So when someone says something, let me actually show you that working. So,
and this is very, very key. And I just like we were talking off air. I just bought a new vehicle, and their Facebook experience, my friends, was very much so lacking. If I had the time, I would totally get them as a client. I'd be using something like BotSheets to be pulling this information, because when you've got 700 vehicles on the lot, it's a lot to manage, and you cannot do that manually. It is impossible. So what Michael's tool does is makes the impossible possible in some regard, man. It's very, very cool. This is gonna be cool what you're gonna show, I'm sure.
Yeah, so this is a search here. So the bot asks, "What are you looking for?" And I can say like, "I'm looking for a backpack." And so what BotSheet does, it takes that and it actually will search the Google Sheet for results. And so here are the backpack results, and that gets pulled from our sheet where we have backpacks in our product list here. And so you can ask the user directly, what are you looking for? But you can imagine that could be like a fallback. So in the same way that you do Google searches, obviously this isn't as powerful as a Google search, but you can show possible solutions for the problem. So
to me, it's like you're making your own Google as a businessman. Like, instead of like basically where Google will show all these results based on a thing, but it'll also show your competitors, for example. Like in this case,
Yeah.
you control the search, man. It's so cool.
Yeah, you want to have layers of fallbacks in your bot, like
Hmm.
fall back to the natural language processing with Dialogflow or Janus first, right? And then fall back to searching a Google sheet. And this fallback just shows them possible outcomes in a gallery like this. Like, hey, we don't know exactly what you want, but maybe it's one of these things. And from a user's perspective, it's a lot nicer of an experience when you kind of have that safety net there to catch the conversation and keep it going.
You nailed it, dude. And it's like, for me, so like, again, to put it in the terms of like a layman's terms, I guess, where you're asking a question to a chatbot and then a smart chatbot, something without, a bot sheet search at the table, they won't know. They'll say, sorry, I didn't understand you. Like what happens is a human, when we're thinking of normal conversation, if I was to ask Michael over the phone, I was like, hey, bro, how's your day today? And then he replied, sorry, did not compute. Like that is like so unexpected, and it's like, well, how do you not understand such a simple question, Michael? Like, what are you doing today? Like, how do you not understand? That is the reaction we get, even if it's subliminal, is with that unexpected answer to like, 2 + 2 = 5. That would like, huh? That doesn't compute. These are all numbers, but that is it was not the expected answer. And so, in the case, if it's should be in the at least the consumer's mind, an easy question, it can really affect the user experience. And like, man, if they don't know, the answer to the question I'm asking, I'm out. Which I could have easily like, if I was a real consumer concerned about the answers I was getting with the car dealership, like it was so strange. Matter of fact, man, just cause like I'll do it, dude. I want to share my screen now, and I'm going to show you all this conversation because I ain't scared. Like they can get mad at me. They've already got my money. So what are they going to do, right? Let's share this screen here. I don't think I was not planning on doing this. All right, cool. So let's see here. The place I bought my vehicle from, Vaden of Beaufort, yes. And like I truthfully do this sometimes. I like kind of test pages to see if they do have automation. And one way you can tell usually is if it says in their messenger, let's see, very responsive, it'll usually say instantly. I think it may have said that, but it was not a bot. At least I don't know if this. You guys tell me. Can you see the screen? Okay.
Yeah.
I said first of all, it was yesterday Sunday. Excuse me, 2 days ago. I did a thumbs up. Right. I wanted to see what that would do. If anything, it didn't do anything. So then I said excited to do business with you guys. Okay. I did not get an instant response, as you could tell by the two blues back to back. Is there a particular model you're looking for? So I said, yeah, I already did the paperwork. So then they hit me with this. Could you please be more specific about your concern? And like at this point, it's the slowest chatbot of all time, or a person who's not reading anything. Like I don't understand where this came from, so I say what? And so finally they say, and the responses were getting quicker, but it was taking a while, like within minutes, not seconds. And it says, I would be happy to have one of our sales specialists follow up with you directly to help with your concern. Like, where's my concern? I have no concern here with these statements. So like either A, you're a human not reading, B, you're a human you don't know English, C, you're a horrible, horrible, horrible chatbot, and anyone out there in mini chat world, you need to get this place as a client like yesterday, right? And finally, a human comes in because they say she's, hey Ryan, I'm Ruth. Let me know if you need anything. Like, well, why didn't this person tell me their name? Like this is a page, my friends, that they do not have bot sheets. They need bot sheets. They need something other than what they got. Would you agree, Michael?
To do what you want it to do there, they definitely need natural language processing, which is difficult to set up. And so you would want a tool to help you with that. Something like Janus could help set up natural language processing. But I mean, what you're getting at though is like why chatbots don't work, and like why didn't chatbots work back in 2016 or 2017? And
I think that's
like
when
the reason
Minichat
you're
came
getting
out,
at
right?
there.
I think they came out in
Yeah.
like 2017, if I'm not mistaken. I think you're right. I
Right.
think Facebook opened up their chat functionality in like late 2016. I think ManyChat came out in 2017, and like it was like basically capable of like dealing with keywords
Yeah, and that
very
was
early
one of the
on.
reasons why chatbots they didn't work back then. It was there was a high expectation of what chatbots can do. Everyone expected them to have that natural language processing, but the barrier to entry to do natural language processing is so high. It's
100%.
so difficult for someone to set up, but everyone expected it to have that. And then the other reasons why they weren't successful is not all the APIs were ready. So like Facebook Messenger was available, but WhatsApp wasn't available. iMessage, Instagram, basically all these platforms where people are talking and chatting,
Mm-hmm.
they weren't available yet. So what was available was using websites, but bots directly on websites aren't where the users are chatting. So it's not a good interface. We can actually talk about this. I want to talk about this as like
Yeah, dude,
on website.
this is folks. This is expert central here. Like you're not gonna find this ain't happening on Clubhouse today, folks. Only here on the ChatBot Podcast do you have Michael Brant, co-founder of BOTSHEETS, laying it down, son. Sorry, I get
Yeah.
pretty
So
hyped.
so so here's why chatbots didn't work. Number one was the natural language processing that we just talked about, right? That wasn't ready. It- the barrier to entry is so high, but everyone expected it to have that natural language processing. So they would message it like questions like that, right? Number two was the APIs weren't ready. So like Messenger wasn't totally ready. I mean, they had a lot to figure out. But other platforms where people are talking, they weren't ready yet. And so people had to resort to putting bots on their website. And putting bots on their website makes less sense than putting them into a bot platform where people are talking. Because I know how to navigate a website. You know how to navigate a website. Everyone knows how to
Mm-hmm.
navigate a website. You go to a website, you go to the top header, and it's like I click the price button, and that's how I figure out the price.
Right.
I navigate the top bar of a website. I can click on each thing and then drill down until I get the information that I want. Putting a chatbot onto a website, what you're doing is, first off, any chatbot I see on a website, I pretty much my only interaction with it is closing it. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
talk because
Facts.
it's I know where to go to figure out the information in like if I in like 90 seconds, right? That same 90 seconds interacting with a chatbot, I would get a tenth of the information that I could have gotten just clicking
Yes.
through the website. Bots on websites make less sense. And that's what we had to resort to back in like 2017
You're
was
right.
bots on websites because these other platforms weren't ready yet. So they just make less sense on that. I'm not saying like they're bad or that they don't work.
Mm-hmm.
But think like when was the last time that you had an enjoyable conversation with a bot on a website where it's like you go to a website like, oh yes, thank God this website has a intercom bot here. Like, oh, I needed this. Like
And
chances are
Intercom's
you're
a
just
great
closing out of
company.
it.
Yeah, I wanted to say Intercom. They make a fantastic product. They're pricey, but they make a great product. But for me, like we're looking at this from the angle of a non-marketing lens, my friend, and I think that's where, luckily, I've got a little bit of a thought process because as a marketing-minded person first, I realize even with a lame old regular website bot, there could potentially be huge opportunity if done correctly. Like it's the same exact problem. I hope you don't mind me nerding out here with you like this. For me, it's
Go
the
for it. Go
same
for it.
exact problem that every big business and small alike has with QR codes. They put their QR code in the like bottom left hand corner of their stuff, making it so small. Like I wouldn't want to scan that thing. It's not the most prominent piece on the artwork. And in my case, that's where my mind goes. And I'm not only just going to have a QR code there or a chatbot bubble there, I'm going to make sure there's a very easy to see, plain in view reason to click said thing. Because even if the only goal of the business is to have a additional way to collect customer information outside of a contact form, could be a great solve. And, it's like click the chat bubble to get 10% off your thing. if I want 10% off, which in most cases, especially after this truck payment I have, I want all the percentages off. So I'm probably going to be clicking that chat bubble if I want the discount, right? And then like this probably going to say something like, tell us your email so we can spam the crap out of you. Maybe your phone number as well if you really want the 10%. Thanks, Ryan. And like then they give me maybe the discount to my text. They have my information in their data bank, but maybe I have the 10% off. And that could come from like the most basic of basic expensive chat bots on websites. And I'll tell you on what, look them up, man. Those prices of those website bots, very expensive per month or per action or per user. And if you talk to any decent expert out there, call it the top 100 people in chat, they should all 100% say, because it's true, Facebook Messenger has the most robust features of any chat platform, period, on the market. They have the most features. So what I like to say in these situations, especially when you've got apps like BotSheets, in this case with you, Mike, like, okay, a website bot can do X, Y, and Z, but when you're a social media driven platform bot, anything that bot can do, the Facebook Messenger can do, but everything that the Facebook Messenger can do, that website bot cannot do. So to me, it is a no-brainer. You know, like the website bot cannot go through a data bank provided by BotSheets and Google Sheets, folks. That ain't possible. You only integrate with ManyChat. I've tried to see what you can do with TTTs. Like, nope, MC only. Ryan, make some money first. I'm trying, you know, but like the solution makes so much sense to me. So I did want to point that out there. Like we have the web chat ability through Facebook, so I don't put very much effort on that on my end. But I think they can work if done properly with a market in mind first. Sorry, had to get that out there.
You're right. They can work. They just make less sense on websites from like maybe like on a specific page, like you go to the pricing page and then the bot pops up and says, do you have questions about our pricing?
Totally.
That makes more sense. But like
in general, I never click it either way. I get it. I'm on your side, brother. Believe me. I never click those things except to like X them out because in general, I know what I want. And this is why also, and I want to put my thing on one more time, like this is the other reason that BotSheets saved my life and career earlier last year is because if you want 5 toppings on your pizza and you try to order that conversationally, my friends, it will not work. Can you imagine? It's like, I want a large pizza. Okay, great. What toppings do you want? And you got to go one by one, maybe, for Facebook to understand you well. For instance, like you can't take 10 minutes to order cheese and pepperoni pizza. It's not a good experience, So the web view solves that issue for the most part.
It's complicated, and I didn't expect how complicated it would be. It's like you have. It sounds so simple, right? You have different size pizzas, right? But
right.
Each size pizza has its own toppings, and then each topping has a different price based on the size that it's on. And so it sounds so simple, right? But from a chat perspective, it's a lot more difficult to implement than you think. But it's possible, and that's what we're getting at, like trying to get that to be really easy to implement. But it takes time. But I mean, we're happy with where we're at right now. So it's possible. It's just definitely difficult. But anyway, chatbots, why they didn't work. Chatbots on websites, I don't think they make that much sense. But that was like reason number 2 why they didn't work. Reason number 3 why bots didn't work back in like 2016, 2017 was that the culture around bots wasn't ready yet. So like if you think back to the first text message that you ever sent or the first phone call that you ever and what type of bots were being built then and how people like seeing it was like your bot was held in super high regard. Like, that was great. Like how good of jokes could your bot tell? That was like almost reminiscent out of the iPhone, right? It was kind of what's the word, like
I think we might be having a little problem with
it wasn't sustainable for It was unstructured. Cut you off there.
I think we
Am I
might have a
cutting
little.
out?
I think we might have a little connection problem here. I wonder if can you tell if you've got a pretty solid connection? Maybe just try to refresh your screen. Maybe you might jump off.
I
Try to refresh
can do
or
that.
like close out of the application and like hit that link again. See if it refreshes your connection. So like you might jump off. Maybe he's off the screen. I'll bring him back on. It looks like he had a little bit of a connection issue, but dude, he's breaking it down, y'all, and he's right on all of these points. Like, and I've said this before as well. Back when I first got into the chatbot world on Facebook, I totally started out with mini chat and platforms like Chatfuel, and in their early stages, they didn't work well for what I was doing because it was in essence back and forth based on keywords. All right, here he comes. Cool, he's back. All right, let's see, and boom. All right, cool, much
Sorry
better.
about
I can
that.
see you well again. It's all good, man. I tell you,
I'm
I've
just
had the
trying to
worst
wire
luck.
a wired connection. Do you wanna go back and,
Yeah, we
and
did. We missed probably quite a bit of that of the number three
okay.
of the number three part.
Sure. Yeah. So okay. Are you gonna edit this or what are you gonna do?
We're live, baby. What you mean?
We're,
Everybody's seeing
we're
this,
live.
right? He didn't know this, y'all. This dude, he
We're,
didn't. We're live. There is no editing here.
so
He
okay.
just turned real
Um,
red, y'all. You're killing it, Mike. By the way, you're killing it, dude. He's like, Ryan, I didn't agree to this. Your price just went up.
no, that's cool. Yeah. Number three. Why didn't chatbots work well?
Mm-hmm.
The culture wasn't ready for it. So if you think back to the first text message that you sent, or the first
Yep.
phone call that you ever made, how you perceived those mediums of communication was differently than you perceive it now, and so you expect different things. When those bots were first being built, a lot of gimmicky, trendy things were held in higher regard. What kind of jokes could your bot tell? Like, how funny was it? Those kind of things are reminiscent of like the first iPhone apps that came out that were kind of quirky, like you can drink beer out of your like this your iPhone. It's like that kind of app.
Right.
And there was no structure. It was immature the way that the bots would be built. It just there was no good culture around it, and like what makes a good bot in the same way that what makes a good website, what makes a good email, what do you expect the bot to do? In the same way that you go to a website and you expect there to be a header to click and you can just drill down and you just get it. You look at a website, you know where to go. You couldn't really get to a bot and know what to ask it, how to ask it. People weren't ready for it, and then at the same time, bot builders weren't ready to build those kind of quality apps yet.
Agreed.
So right, and we're still testing. So those are the three things why bots didn't work well. And what's crazy is that was 2017, right? Fast forward 4 years.
4 years, man. We're getting old, bro.
I know,
Right?
it doesn't seem like that long ago. Like I can literally remember 2017 like it was yesterday. Fast forward 4 years, and you look at this list. Okay, why didn't bots work well? APIs weren't ready yet. NLP wasn't fully accessible yet, and the culture around bots just wasn't ready yet from both sides. And it's like, okay, how are we doing with that list today in 2021? Well, we're still waiting on the APIs for Instagram and WhatsApp and iMessage.
Boy, I'm gonna tell y'all what I've said, dude. It's insane. Like they're really. It's a good thing I don't gamble because I like have been broke multiple times since January of last year. I said all my clients, they're all like, I've stopped talking about it so much, but I'm like, man, I smell it. Instagram is coming. It is any day, any second, client. It could happen. Literally, I'm on the conversation with this right now with a giant client. And I'm like, they've both hit me back to back. Do you have Instagram? Like they're totally like they only want to hear all the features. Do you have Instagram? Like it's coming. No one has it yet. Well, MiniChat has beta because they're awesome and they're huge and they can do the things. But that doesn't mean the users can deal with it yet. They're testing it and making sure that people like me don't break it when I get it. But the day it opens, I will have it. I'm waiting on that thing too. And you're just nailing it, dude. I digress.
Exactly. So the API access, we're still waiting, right? Like, okay, we still have Messenger, but we've had Messenger for 4 years.
Right.
how's the NLP process going? It's still difficult to use. People still don't totally get how to set that up. It's still a high barrier to entry, and our expectations of the bot are still way higher than what most bots can perform at. And number three,
for sure.
where are we with like the culture around bots and like the structure of them? Are we like any better? Kinda. Like I can see people in the like bot building community are like getting better at like, your bot needs to be simple, it needs to do this, and every bot should have like a personality, and like we're getting more structured rules around what makes a good bot.
Yes.
And we're getting better at analytics. Like from the end user's perspective, do they really understand bots any more than they did in 2017? Maybe. I mean, I do because I'm around them every day, but it's hard for me to tell.
Yeah, we can't, like, anything that we think is standardized, we cannot think, like, we're automatically wrong as builders and people in the industry because we're in it day in and day out. And I'm sure you've seen this as well because you're an OG in this game, in the messenger marketing game. It's like you've seen these people that maybe they even had some remote success as in the conversational commerce space, but then it's like, because the APIs could be slow to roll out on Instagram side, and because of this or because of that, they find all these issues or problems. Now, the EU thing that just happened recently, that looks like it's resolved now, that's a different, I'm not putting that in the same bucket, but I feel like people have they have such little patience these days. They're like, okay, cool, well, I've done bots now, but it's not like I'm not a millionaire yet, so I'm going to do something else now. Bots aren't cool anymore. Like bots are old news now. What I have found, and I keep it ingrained in the way I think, is I really do research a lot, and I use my eyes and ears, okay? So I did a speech or a talk at a local college here in Hilton Head area, and I asked the question of a random college class. I think there's maybe 20, 22 people in there. Shout out to Othel, who had me over to speak for that class. And I asked them 3 questions. The 2 I'll mention here is who here has Facebook on your phone? Every person in the room raised their hand except one person. It was a girl, and I think she just really wanted some attention, and I wasn't going to like even hear that. I'm sure she had Facebook, but I didn't go there, right? So they all had Facebook. The next question I asked, okay, I'll tell you all 3. The next questions I asked was, how many of you have Messenger? Again, all of them said they had Messenger on their phone. The third question I didn't even like plan on asking. It was totally off the cuff, but I'm so glad I did ask it. I said, what app do you think you use more, Facebook or Messenger? And dude, they all said Messenger, all of them. They all used Messenger, at least they told me, more frequently than the Facebook app itself, which I thought was very, very interesting. And the last question was, how many of you, after I did my demo and showed them the things, and like we made a little automation string together, a little funnel, I said, how many of you have seen something like this before? 0. None. That makes me feel horrible in a way because I run a lot of ads here locally. I'm like, well, I'm obviously not reaching that crowd. The college crowd is not looking at Ryan's stuff out in that area, but it like blew me away to know that, number one, they all had Messenger 100%, well, 99.9% regarding besides the one chick. They all had Messenger. They all said they used it more, and they all had said they'd never seen automation before. And I like stick, table automation in my friends and family's faces so much they probably are sick of it by now. But they've not seen things like what we see on a daily basis as well, And so I think that the industry is not even really started yet, and anyone that's using tools like this currently, I still think, regardless, 4 years later, I think they're early adopters.
I think so too. I think it's
Bots
difficult
2.0,
It's difficult to imagine a future where chatbots aren't a thing, but how popular they're going to be is going to depend on how useful they are.
Yes.
How frictionless it is to talk to them. Like,
boy,
are we pushing bots on people in mediums that don't make sense, or are we bringing the bots to where they are, where users are already chatting? So users are already chatting on Messenger, Instagram, direct message, iMessage, and WhatsApp. Are we bringing the bots there, or are we trying to push bots on websites?
That's that totally is a huge disconnect there, right?
It's like,
agreed.
Where does it make sense to go? Where is it where are the users at? And then bring the bot to the users. Don't try to bring the users to the bot. That's going to be a huge factor. And then also how useful they are. Did we get the NLP figured out? Did we get like the culture around bots and like the structure of the bot figured out? Those are going to be, I think, the big deciding factors in how popular bots become over time. But like you said, I do believe we're just getting started, and it's difficult to imagine a future where bots, especially chatbots, aren't a thing.
And
Yeah.
imagine taking that a step further, bro. Like, and I'm gonna like really make you turn red here. Imagine a world where BOTSHEETS was not around, because, bro, like I said, like without your tool in the early day of my career, I was not able to do anything cool. Like I could only do
Right.
very minimal things, and that the fact that I could now potentially have quote unquote a database, it like with the system, it changed the entire game. Not only can I provide information, I can store information in a different, better, more efficient way than ManyChat provided, for example. And you know, for me, I think, and I thought it the day that I landed in your group, learning about all the things, learning about the web views and all that stuff that I didn't necessarily know before. I think that of the people, the small percentage that understand the chat game, I think the people in your group will account for, I would say, at the, like being, you know, very lenient, at least 5% of the top builders in the world are using your tool, man. So like to me, if they're not using the tool and they're using ManyChat, they're not getting near enough value to do the things that are necessary, in my opinion, to have, you know, functionality that matters. And so like
Yeah.
I don't care about your 100 keywords you could program in case like someone happened to type them in this order and it contains this. Like that's how I was originally building ManyChat bots until you came around. and then I was like, I did more of the provided the guest journey and guest journey options for the customer, you know, lead them into the way that was controllable. And your system made that the impossible task very easy from my experience. And now it looks like with your 2.0, is that what you call it, 2.0?
Yeah, I guess it's always
You're always
incremental, always getting
improving,
better.
dude.
Yeah.
You guys, and shout out to all Josh as well, man, because y'all are always improving that product, dude. And again, like it would be an entirely different ecosystem in chatbots, period. I think if you did not exist, if your product did not exist, because of the people that are not necessarily developers are able to do developer type things with a combination of a tool like ManyChat and then you know, a database, CMS like what you've got. And what I think, and I think this is where we'll end it here, we're getting close to the hour mark, I guess. I think that it's up to developers like you guys and the people at ManyChat and hopefully myself and my small team. I think it's going to be up to us and the people that are using the chatbot to supply to their end user. So in this case, in my reference here, I'm going to say celebrities. It's going to be us, developers and engineers and celebrities that must make the chatbot experience frickin' cool. That's the one thing, in my opinion, that is totally lacking. And that's why like some of my stuff is basic as it is, potentially, like considering all the things you can do with dynamic requests and such. A gift journey or the random chance to win X or Y or Z, I think that coupled with the right exposure brought forth from a celebrity standpoint will be the whole difference. The moment a celebrity publicly like endorses how cool chatbots automation can be, I think that's when we see such a cultural shift in digital marketing, period, that we're like going to be set up for nothing but success for us early adopters that stay in it. And what I mean by that is I've worked for giant agencies before. I know the things that they're awesome at. I know the things they're not awesome at. A mini chatbot that could be built in 10 minutes took this agency 8 months and probably $50,000 to $75,000 to create. And it was a not good bot. Like they did not understand the carousel concept. So instead, what did they do, Michael? They said images, singular images, bam, 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 bam. Think of 10 images hitting your messenger in a row. How bad does that hurt? You're like, oh, spam. Right? This is a $50,000, $75,000 project, man. And
Yeah.
it could have been done so easily. And if you had bot sheets, it could have been done in 5 minutes, you know? So I think that if they're done wrong like that, they'll never be adopted. And Ryan will have to find a different job and sell my everything because I'll be broke.
Yeah.
So, like,
That's the
that's the downside. The upside is when we do create cool things and when we do have celebrities and musicians and tables luckily got some big names using it right now. Can't say their names. I wish I could because it'd be fun. Hopefully when this NDA is over I will be able to say something, but like the people that I'm hopefully dealing with will help the industry understand how cool this stuff is. Because if like your favorite movie star or singer, if they change their content and social media strategy to say, I don't care about necessarily the engagements so much or the reach so much or whatever so much on the timeline posts. What I care about is the step 2 and 3 and 4, getting them to go from content or video to messenger experience. Now we're talking time on brand, data collection, segmentation, all these things. So I believe truthfully that from the large agencies on down, they will use these things to in a way that's never been done. They're going to say, all right, this one piece of content led to the customer seeing 5 to 10 more pieces of content within that 6 minutes. And so what that means, guys, let me explain this, where you would have had maybe a photo your brand posted, or maybe a 30-second video, or maybe even a 5-minute video, instead of the user just watching or looking, clicking, engaging, or going through your website, and that's like the end result you get from your post or your ad. Instead, that one piece of creative, that one post, turns into 5 or 10 or 20 pieces of content in the messenger experience. You're going to have more data, more everything. And the agency side, when they're charging on, in essence, number of posts published in a month, now they're going to have to be, it's like they're gaining an unlimited amount of things to charge for and account for and learn from in Messenger. So that's like my total game and strategy when it comes to the content side. The idea is like step 1, look at my stuff, see it, and know it's here. Step 2, get them into Messenger so I can understand who these people are in the field of reach and impressions. Like unless they like your stuff, do something publicly, Facebook just hangs that number right in front of you or underneath your post. This post just reached 10,000 people. Your impressions were 100,000 people. Who were they? If they're not in Messenger, you don't know them. That's a problem for me. So that's like my soapbox, I guess. I think that we're about to like see the ultimate cool stuff happen. And I think that like the moment I hear a non-tech person talk about on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, oh my gosh, if you message so-and-so, this happens and it's awesome. Like, to me, that's how you get it going. You get the party started, and then the other celebrities are like calling their agents all pissed off because it's like, well, how come Justin Timberlake has this? My Facebook doesn't do crap. Like that's what I cannot wait for because that's when we're in the money, dude.
Yeah, possibly. It's like
Ryan, you are so crazy. Let me get off this podcast.
Maybe
just loud.
You're right though. We have to make the bots really good. Like, I don't know if it's enough like that a celebrity says like, "Hey, check this out," because like then you have to go into it and it has to be really good and frictionless.
It needs to be the celebrity in Messenger. Like my thing is the celebrity makes a post like TikTok style. Yo, fans, hit me in Messenger. Got a little trick for you, right? Check me out, get my thing. As soon as that happens, instead of like what I've been forced to deal with is like put my mind in their like shoes and try to figure out, all right, what would this person say? And, like write it out and like have a cool conversation that way. It should totally be videos, like the entire time, like 3 and 4 second videos. So like imagine your quick reply. Sorry guys, we're nerding out right here. Imagine like you have the video and then 2 quick replies, a yes or no, a left or right, a go or stop, right? The button's underneath. And he's like, yo, Michael, just hit the button below. And I've thought about it like using a bot sheet scenario. Like check this out. Like think of the radio commercials that these celebrities will do, where the very first part of the commercial is like, yo, Savannah, yo Atlanta, yo Texas, and then they say whatever thing it is they need to say. Like, I'll bet you, and it's probably already been done. You're gonna tell me, well, that was done a year ago, Ryan. You could use something like a bot sheets, maybe. Have these, pre-recorded clips from your celebrity or brand or whatever, and based on things like the user's first name, could totally appear or look as if the celebrity's really talking to Michael. Like, think of the common names, for example. Michael's like, I'm going to build this right now in my head. I'm thinking about the possibilities right now. That's what I love about the podcast, man. You can see. Michael almost didn't want his face to be on this camera. Witness protection stuff. No, I'm just kidding. He was like, I got to clean up my house. You have the cleanest background of any guest I've had on.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's all white. Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, so... like videos and audio, like how's that going to play?
The audio, I've done the audio is fun. Like here's a fun example. I'm working with a pizzeria franchise, a very large one, very cool one too, and they have a location in Daytona. So the Daytona 500 that just happened, we did a campaign revolving around that, and so like when you hit go or like start journey, the first thing that happens, like you see a fun GIF of like the car getting up to the line. You see some text like, get ready to start your engines, typing message. And then you see the sound, like the sound file. Like the only thing you can do is hit play. It says 4 seconds and you hit it. And like, if you do it just right, and most people I think will do it because I know their timing, they'll hit the button. And by the time that they hear the crank up engine, I'm so country, sorry, crank up the engine. As soon as they hear the car turn on, the next GIF appears. So it's like, it's a fun experience. But although it's like, you know how that works, just conditions and logic, it's not very difficult to achieve. But the experience is like, okay, these people came in from a Facebook post. They could have just done like every other 99% of posts and like pass them, give them a little like, give a little comment. The most you're going to get, in most cases, they jump from the link to the post to go to your website, right? Like, it's what you can kind of ask for. But in this case of Messenger, there's so much more, man.
Yeah.
So much more fun.
I like that, like using audio to enhance the experience. That's kind of cool. I was thinking more like the medium is the audio, kind of like a voice assistant or something. But that is kind of a cool way to think about it, like sound effects to enhance the experience.
Dude, imagine this. It's like, dude, this is why dangerous to have these podcasts with people like me and Michael, because we could just straight talk about this kind of stuff forever and like forget y'all are even here. Sorry, not sorry. But for me, it's like, imagine with like, so MiniChat has something called a smart delay. I've got a similar feature that we just simply call wait. So like, imagine the person tells us, who do you think, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Michael, Chiefs or Buccaneers, right? So then you choose one, and we might not know who wins, but like, the moment it happens, how fun would it be to send a little broadcast to the people that interact with that post that chose the Buccaneers, and like all of a sudden they get the ding from their messenger, open it up, and it's a play button for a sound. And it's like, Michael, you're a genius. You predicted that they won, and they won. And it's like all based on the sound, like burp, burp, like the DJ sound. Do I still have it? Oh crap, no, I don't. I was gonna say I thought I had the sound, like on here. I think I don't. Where to go? I want to play the sound now. Where to go? Air horn. Where's the air horn? No air horn.
You have like a dun, 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 dun.
Yes, dude. I had it, dude. It's gone. I have clapping. I don't know where my air horn went. That sucks. Oh well.
Audio is difficult, and it's funny. I was reading an article this morning about like text, and it was like it was titled "Always Bet on Text," and the reason why is because text is the oldest form of communication. Like we go back 5,000 years, we see text on rock, right? And we can still read it today.
Hieroglyphics, right?
Right. Text is hieroglyphics. Yeah, it's stable. There's a lot that you can do with text that you can't do with audio. You can check differences and do source control on text. You can index it and search it. You can easily edit it. You can have multiple people edit the same text file. It's a lot more efficient. Like you have a paragraph in text, we're talking a kilobyte. You have a paragraph in audio, we're talking a megabyte. And so the loading time is a lot faster.
Right.
There's a lot of reasons why text is a lot more efficient, and the ability to express ideas through text is a lot easier. I'm not saying that audio isn't going to be the future. Audio is very important.
To me, it's one of the same, you know?
Always been on like the capabilities of text and just like the stability of it. What you can the ideas that you can express through text, and like how efficiently you can do that, and just like the ways that you can organize text, search it, index it, a lot more powerful, and those things matter. Um,
I
but
want to I want
voice is
to
important.
hit that right there. Like for me, and you have a very interesting perspective on this. I think it's a good point to end on here, with audio, and that is a hot topic, and especially with the clubhouse and stuff, whatever. Uh, what he's saying, folks, is so true. But I think there's a layer that maybe we should think about what's happening now with technology. For example, this podcast, even though it is live, it is entirely possible because of even the slightest latency by design. The audio could be published, like it's going to guess the audio as we go. So then when you're able to turn speech into text, it is as malleable and efficient and effective as he's talking about. But like where a year ago, and even a year ago, we would not even think, I would not have that thought in my head, going from audio to text based like instantly or automatically. We're getting there. And so while AI and computers don't necessarily understand audio words, they understand sounds that can basically, in the most like layman's sense, take the sounds that create like when they're consecutive words, understand, okay, well, if it's this word or that word, one way makes sense, the other way doesn't make sense. All this is happening extremely fast. So while this is the way Siri and Alexa work, they're taking what the sound our voice is making when we're saying words, and they're computing them instantly, and to have that text string, so that then like it'd be very easy for the, I guess you could see it as well. It says, hey Siri, call the barbershop. Like you'll see your text, your what you've said in text form. So then it's actually data at that point can be managed and done the things. Man, we've gotten into some deep stuff, dog.
Yeah.
Did you have fun? I think this has been fun, man.
Yeah, I apologize for the latency issues during the call. I hope it
Dude,
turns out okay. But yeah, this is great, man.
on my YouTube channel, like I've had so many problems, and I think sometimes, hey, admit it's me, the user error. It's probably always user error, but I've had times where I try to play a video or do something kind of extra, and it's like the whole thing freezes, or like I look fuzzy the whole time. It might not even be on your end. It could be mine. I'm hardwired in now.
No, it's
Like,
definitely mine. I didn't plug in my Ethernet cord. I like just plugged it in, so it's a lot better now.
well, I'm glad, man. I really, really appreciate the time. I'll have my people send the check your way for this hourly cost. That's gonna like be a mortgage payment. Just kidding, man. I really appreciate it, dude. And if you ever need anything from me, dude, please do not hesitate. If I can at all help, I will.
Cool. Yeah, definitely. We'll keep this going. Maybe we'll talk again.
I hope so, man. Like hopefully at this point I can start having some of the guests that I had on last year back on. I'd love to have Kelly on and such. Like she's just so awesome. She gave me a big old shout out on Clubhouse. Have you done the Clubhouse thing yet? Have you like
Yeah, I do calls every Sunday.
with
Sunday
Kelly?
morning.
Don't you? Right? I heard you last. Right?
No, not
No?
with Kelly. No, I just do my own kind of
Quit
thing.
playing, man. I want to follow you right now. What,
Yeah, well,
you just your
we talk
name?
about a whole lot of stuff. I think it's just Michael Brant. It's just my
It should have been the Michael Brant, dude. Come on,
right
man.
now.
Genius,
Yeah,
Michael
Clubhouse is
Brant.
great.
I
Clubhouse
think
is
it's
fun.
a very interesting concept. I think they all got their pros and cons, but it's a fun one. I'll definitely follow you. It'll be fun. But Michael, thank you so much for joining us, man. I think that your product is so fantastic for bot builders out there, and you're providing a way for them to provide solutions to their clients that don't exist without you and the ManyChat ecosystem, dude. So thank you for all you do for the community of chatbots, and thanks for being a part of the show, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, dude, we'll talk to you later. Guys, that dude is awesome. He's like one of my favorite people I've met in this chat game over the past, I guess, 12, 13, 14 months now. And he's helped me so many times. And he can help your chatbot marketing business if you're using a tool like ManyChat. Well, it must be ManyChat. I think that's the only tool it must be. It must be ManyChat, which is a very powerful tool alone. But with his stuff, supercharged, y'all. And if you know spreadsheets, this is going to be like second nature to you. Very, very little build time, as he was showing you guys. They have a great partnership. ManyChat, I think, has done a good job of supporting some of their application developers. In their case, I think they really love the product that Michael and Josh have created over there at BOTSHEETS. So be sure to go follow them. Check out what they have to offer. Join their awesome Facebook group. If you ever want to feel like you don't know anything, just go into that group as a newbie, and like you'll have your eyes open very fast that there are some very, very smart people out there. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I will have some giant updates for you very soon about some of the things I'm working on, some of the updates with Tap the Table. Can't say too much more, but be on the lookout for some very interesting, fun, and awesome stuff. I appreciate everything and all the support y'all have provided me through this podcast journey. Y'all have a good day. We'll see you later.